Alright guys, and welcome back to another educational informative survivor game on, I believe it is the treatment center. Now, first thing I'm going to do is run for the middle of the map. This means I'm more likely going to be able to see the killer. We are versing a DeathSlinger. It's not a good map, it's not a bad map for DeathSlinger. He can hit you over a lot of these windows and then pull you back in. I don't know if he has lethal pursuer or if I'm running straight into him, but it feels like he will see my scratches. They are there for 10 seconds, but he has found somebody else. Ideally, you don't work on an isolated generator in the corner of the map right now. Well, then why are you doing it, Goose? Well, let's look at the HUD right now. How many people do you see on objectives? You see one person just jumped on a gen and another person jumped on a gen. I jumped on this generator about 5 seconds before I saw either of those players on objectives. Therefore, I saw no objectives were being done. That's why I jumped on this straight away. It's also going to take me about 10 seconds to run to the middle map, work on the middle gen. That's 10 seconds out of a 90-second gen. That's 1/9 of the generator done that I would have missed out on. So what we need to focus on right now is getting some kind of pressure out. If I'm working in the middle of the map and I think the killer's not chasing, letting go of chase, because look at the HUD right now. The guy got hit and is not in chase of the killer, but everyone's on the generator. This makes me think the killer is still chasing the player, but he's blocked line of sight well enough to reset the bloodlust from the killer. He took a shot, that's exactly what happened. I can't physically see what's going on the map, but I can pay attention to the HUD, the heads-up display on the screen, and that gives me all that information. When the devs introduced the HUD, it was a really big buff to the game, and I need to say I recommend to every player that you actually run Kindred, because the amount of information Kindred gives you is uncanny. He took a shot, the fact that my ally is healing tells me that the killer lost interest in that. He knows he's wasting too much time, and he's applying pressure elsewhere. Very good play by the killer. You forced one other person off in a generator. Unfortunately for the killer, we have people on multiple different generators still, because our team was being very productive. Bad news, teammate completed a gen. Good news, the bad part of that is the fact is we're right beside each other doing gens. Let's 99 it for a second. Let's wait for him to hear it and come a little closer and then pop it. He's not coming closer. Let's pop it and go. Now, the generator in the middle, in that really awkward area, which has 8 entries, has a gen and there's one here. So that was a really tight 3 gen that has been broken. The issue now is no gens across the map have been completed. Ideally, I want to go through the map, work on the gen near the library, which is where we currently are right now. If the gen doesn't spawn in the library, there's generally a single gen that spawns outside. I'm going to just wait here. I don't need to give him too much information. I'm not worried about him coming for me. The gen's not even been started. He sees plenty of scratch marks. I can stay here right now in order to evade the killer. Look at the HUD. He's chasing somebody else. I thought that was red stain that we could see then. He's taking a hit on another player on my right-hand side. We can hear that through 7.1 surround sound. There he goes right there. Alright, so we know the killer's chasing the player with red ping. We know the killer has lost 2 generators. We know a teammate is about to pop the 3rd generator. I am now isolating myself on a generator as well. Killer will not let go of that chase, most likely because he thinks he is able to catch it. And there is a good chance he can. That's exactly what he did. Managed to down the player. Unfortunately, that player did a good and a bad thing. They tried to pull the killer away and loop the killer away from objectives, which pulls the killer to a killer dead zone, because they're not using their heartbeat or pressure to force survivors off objectives. The bad news is they were at a pallet that they couldn't really do much. The player that completed that did exactly what I was intending to do, which was break the 3 gen. We got another ally on my left-hand side working on the gen that was near the center of the board. Killer's going to be able to see the scratches. The good news here is if you're running a perk called Kindred, you can take the killer for a long loop. Did you see that? He shot his gun without even aiming it. That's a visual bug that's been on the DeathSlinger for such a long time, and that one really needs to go. One of my allies is open-handed, and as we can see by that, we're getting a large amount of open-handed value. I'm able to loop the killer outside a chase. For as long as this guy's on the hook, hopefully he stays on the hook a little longer. Looks like the killer's going to cycle right back around. Didn't even kick the generator, right back to the hook. That guy, most likely, you can see his wiggle bar hasn't moved. That means the teammate who ran past him most likely has reassurance. I'm going to point out that I am in a 4-man pre-made right now. If you look at the HUD right now, there's a lot of information. Unfortunately, my camera's blocking the vision at the bottom of the screen, but we have Kindred information, as you can see, and we also have access to open-handed. Kindred has a 16-meter radius where you can see the killer. Alright, I may be able to go in for the save right now. Let's see what the killer's intent is. I'm going to go for the save. I know my gen's nearly done. It is okay. No, he doesn't need to come in. We can get the save. He might just got forced off his gen. Now, we can listen to this DeathSlinger's 24-meter heartbeat. Best case scenario, he comes back. They run for that God pallet there. They just drop the God pallet. And whenever he goes to shoot them, they make sure they're on the opposite side. It's the simplest way to outplay what's currently going on. The generator on the other side of the map was nearly completed. The generator near me was nearly completed. My ally who has just been hooked should complete this generator to my left-hand side, while the fact that I haven't been hooked, I should run through the middle of the map. I'm going to point with my flashlight, see if they respond. Very good play by my teammate. Alright, looks like DeathSlinger hasn't even seen me. Now, am I avoiding the killer this game? realistically, you can say yes. I worked on a generator isolated in the wrong side of the map, or in the corner of the map, and the killer had no intent to coming over. So yes, to a degree, you can say I've been avoiding the killer, but have I been running and hiding, or have I been going from objective to objective, applying the pressure in the technique and areas? I did the corner generator. I got an ally behind me. If he needs a heal, I'll give it to him. He looked at me. I saw him, and he didn't come towards me, so therefore he does not want to heal. That is that simple. Teammate has gone down. Looks like we got an ally going for the door on the right. That is okay. Information through Kindred. Let's see what currently goes on. I'm going to walk here because concrete's very loud. Okay, we can see the killer is going towards that door, and we have an ally on the other door. Okay, let's take a hook save. They've already responded really well. Now, if the killer comes back, we can respond appropriately too. Now, rather than going to the safe door on the right-hand side, I know the killer's not at, I'm going to go over here. The other door... You know what? I'm not. The reason I'm not is because the other door is 99. They should know where both doors appeared. So they should be running towards the opposite door. Hence, I'm running through the middle of the map to look for a body block hit. Let's keep walking with a flashlight out. And that is just synergy between good teamwork. Hopefully I don't get hit with exposure off of doing that. Oh! Little close for comfort there. I did want to get another item, like a Commodious toolbox, but that could have been bad for us, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, that's going to be an educational informative Dead by Daylight Survivor game. Do you see how that teammate responded to my other teammate who was opening the door and started running for it? I had to predict what they were doing and why they were doing it and how I needed to move in order to cut them off. I cut through the center of the board. I saw my ally had already made the door. I was looking for the body block. I was looking for the chain blind. Remember, when he shoots a survivor and reels you in, you can blind him because he can't look away. It's one of those very good techniques that you can use for an ally for assistance. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the educational informative commentary, make sure you hit the subscribe button. I do educational informative Dead by Daylight Survivor and killer content over at Twitch. We can see I did not do a lot in way of points, 6.5 and 2.3. That game, my team performed incredibly well. I didn't really do too much for them, but either way, guys, if you like the commentary, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the fog in the next video. Have a good one. Cheers.